Yo, 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 what is going on, guys? It is your boy Optic Scumpy bringing you another Black Ops 2 gameplay commentary here today, playing on the map Raid, using the PDW silencer. This has to be the most cliche video ever, right? No, wrong. It is a cliche gameplay, but I do have a pretty interesting commentary topic that has been asked of me a lot. It used to get asked of me a lot, actually. It hasn't been asked recently in the comments. But I used to get asked, how or can you give me some tips to win some more gunfights and or increase my aim? Now, I can't really give you any tips to increase your aim. It really just comes with practice and playing the game a lot and getting used to your controller. But I thought of a couple things that could be it. Not 100%, so I can't say like this will for sure help you. But switching up your sensitivity, lowering it or hiring it, either one, if you find the perfect sensitivity for you, it's obviously going to help you a lot more with the way that you aim. The sensitivity I play on in Black Ops 2 is 5, and I think that's like, I don't know what it is. It's like a 2.5 back in Modern Warfare 3. I'm not really sure the exact numbers on that, but it's close to like a 2.5 or like a 2.6 or 3. It's right in the middle of 2 and 3. And it's a really good thing for SMG players. It allows me to turn quickly, but not too quickly to the point where I can't maintain my aim and keep shooting at them well. So that's that. You know, change your sensitivity if you're having trouble aiming. I don't want you to ruin your aim completely, so if it doesn't feel right after a couple games, if you can't get used to it, just switch back. Don't fuck up your aim permanently, because you can do that if you play with the different sensitivity. Then you try to switch. It can get a little bit weird. But also, like I said, you can switch your analogs out of your controller and or clean them, and it will hopefully tighten them back up. I'm not really sure how to tighten your analogs. You might just have to go buy a new controller. But if your analogs do feel loose, that used to be one of my problems. Actually, a couple weeks ago, I finally got my new controller, and I haven't been having that problem at all. And the loosening of the analogs really does affect your aim. You don't really think about it whenever you're playing, but it really, really does. So just take my word on that. Either buy a new controller or try and figure out a way to clean out your analogs and renew your controller, or just take the analogs out and put new ones in, because I know you can do that as well. There's a whole bunch of different options in those two categories. But the main thing that I wanted to talk about was how to win more gunfights. Now, I can talk to you about this because there are a bunch of different things that will help you to win more gunfights in Black Ops 2. And one of the things that has really helped me was that right there, the jump shot. Now, in MW3, the go-to was the drop shot. But in Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, the really big thing to win more gunfights was to jump shot a lot. And it can be a tough skill to learn. Obviously, the same as drop shotting can be tough as well. But with drop shotting, you can just switch your stick layout to tactical, and then that makes it a little bit easier right then and there. Now, to jump shot, I'm pretty sure A is jump on basically every single controller layout. I'm not sure on that as well. I've really only ever played on default, and that's the only one I've really ever looked at. But jump shotting in this game helps you win gunfights significantly. It'll help you win a lot. Drop shotting is not as good in this game as in previous Call of Duties like MW3, MW2. Those were really big drop shotting games because whenever you drop shotted, the gun wouldn't move at all. It would stay in the same spot. Now, in this game, the gun like sways a little bit, and you miss a couple bullets whenever you drop shot, which I don't get, but, you know, it is what it is, and you just got to deal with it. But so, jump shotting in this game is just another way to make them miss bullets. And even drop shotting in this game still works sometimes. It doesn't have as high of a consistency as jump shotting, I don't think, in my opinion at least. But it still can help you out. Don't get me wrong. If you drop shot a lot, more power to you. Keep doing whatever works for you. Don't let me sit here and try and change the way that you play. But I'm just trying to help people out that wanted some tips. So like right there, you saw me jump again. I jump a lot, and that's because I play Claw. Now, if you don't want to learn how to play Claw, the company that we're sponsored by is Scump. And basically what they do is they map out your buttons. It's like a macro keyboard for controllers. So they map out your buttons to the back of your controller so that you can jump more easily. Fuck. And so they can put like A and B on the back of your controller, and then you play with your fingers on the back of your controller. Your your middle fingers, I guess. I'm trying to think of how I would hold a controller. And then you can tap them. They're right in the ridges, like going down the back, if you would think of it like that. I don't know if you got that image, but I hope that you guys did. But basically, they put the A and B buttons there, so it makes it easier to jump and drop shot, and then obviously Y is still to switch weapons, and X is still to reload, so those you don't really need to play claw. But I play claw, so I really don't need those paddles, but they're really useful. There's a link in the description to Scump if you want to check them out. There's an optic gaming controller as well if you want to check that out, the one that we use. It's pretty damn sexy if I do say so myself. But yeah, jump shotting and drop shotting, two really big things. In this game, I prefer jump shotting to the drop shot. And in this game also, back onto the fucking jump and drop shot, whenever you jump shot, you notice how your guy moves a little bit to a certain way. And that's really the first time it's ever been that way. In all the other Call of Duties, you would just jump straight up. It would still be a pretty easy target for your opponent. But in this game, you sort of like strafe while you jump just a little bit. So it makes it a little bit more difficult for the other person to hit their shots. And that split second of them not hitting your shots can really help you out whenever you're spraying them down and you're just, constantly shooting. It really can help. And that's why I like jump shotting a lot more. And I'm pretty sure if you ask pros, they would say jump shotting to drop shotting probably 4/5 or 3/4 of the time. There are a couple that like to drop shot more still, but they would still say jump shotting a lot more. Next, the next way that you can win more gunfights in this game, pre-fire. A lot of people don't take this into consideration whenever they're playing, but if you can predict where the enemy's coming and you have a silencer on, why not just keep shooting? Obviously not keep shooting, especially if you're using toughness. Obviously, it's going to hurt your accuracy a little bit. But if you're pre-firing when the enemy's coming through, you're going to hit them with your first 2 bullets. Get the fuck out of the way, you fucking pussy. But whenever you're pre-firing, you're going to hit like the first 2 or 3 bullets before they can even, think to react. And that's one of the big things. Pre-firing is really prevalent in the competitive community whenever you get call-outs, especially in hardpoint. You can just keep shooting, and they have to run through a choke point, and then it's pretty much an easy kill. Or you absolutely get dominated, either one of the two. Usually it's an easy kill, but sometimes you just get absolutely dumped on in this game. And yeah, so pre-firing is really big. If you have a group of friends and they learn the call-outs, then just call out. Go try hard in pubs, call out where they're coming from, and pre-fire a little bit, especially if you're using a silencer. They can't see where you are on the map anyway, unless they can hear where you're shooting from. But on to the next thing, using a good weapon. Now, obviously, a lot of you guys have your weapons that you enjoy using and you like to use, but there are just certain guns in this game that are going to outclass another gun in gunfights a lot of the time. And what I found after the patch, as you saw in my live commentary, the Vector is very, very good now compared to other guns. The PDW and MSMC got nerfed again, so they're not as good, and now the Vector really caught up. It's really noticeable. Start using the Vector. Like, the Vector is a fucking good gun, and people don't give it the time of day because it wasn't good before the patch. And I know that some of you guys obviously use the Vector still, and if you use the Vector, good, because that gun's a freaking tank. But, yeah, using the right guns really will help you out. And let me just give you a list of my personal best guns in this game. Alright, so we're going to start off with the 2 top dogs. MSMC and PDW, even though they got nerfed, they're still really, really good. Next, I'm going to have to go with the Vector. The Vector is really inching up there to my favorite SMG. It really is a good gun now, and I really advise you guys to try it out. But now let's move on to some assault rifles. MAA1, FAL, if you have a good trigger finger. If not, I wouldn't really fuck with it. If you don't have a good trigger finger, MAA1 and the AN94. If you do have a good trigger finger, the FAL, it's better than both of them if you know how to shoot that thing like a freaking automatic without having a mod, of course. Don't do that shit. Don't pull that bullshit. But, yeah, so use those guns. You really want to have the advantage whenever you're going into that in a gunfight situation. But now let's talk about attachments, because this is really where the big things come into play. Now, things that increase damage are the long barrel and then FMJ through walls. The long barrel really does help noticeably on a couple guns, not so much on others. Ones that I've noticed that it works on, the PDW long barrel works really well, and the Vector long barrel works very well. Oh, wait, no, I fucked that up. The MSMC long barrel works really well. The PDW doesn't, and the Vector does. So the MSMC and the Vector are the 2 that you want to throw a long barrel on. The MSMC, it really doesn't matter. I really haven't noticed too much of a difference whenever you throw a long barrel on as opposed to not using it. But if you still like it, obviously use it. If you think that it helps, use it. But that's just my opinion. And after that, you want to throw on the long barrel, and then I usually throw on quick draw just to aim down a little bit quicker. Hopefully be able to out reaction time the person that I'm playing against, or extended mags, one of those 2. Either one, but long barrel is pretty much a necessity, and then the extended mags as well as the quick draw attachments. Next, let's move on to ARs. I usually run the primary warfighter on these, and I'll use a reflex sight on all three of them, the FAL, the M8, and the AN94. I'll use a quick draw handle, I think that it's called, on all of them as well, and then stock usually. Those are usually my three attachments for all of my assault rifles on every single one of them. I really don't go for any damage increasers. I just do it how it is. But if you enjoyed this commentary, guys, make sure you leave a like, favorite if you really enjoyed it, comment, give me any constructive criticism. If you think that some of my opinions were fucked up, let me know. Let me know what your favorite guns are. Let me know it's the ones that do the best for you and all that good stuff. And subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And as always, this was your boy Scump. Peace.